brought to you by the Morning Session Studio. My name is Orion _ New Star, and today we have a guest with us. But before we get to all that, let's go back our co-host who's been gone for a minute now. I'm not sure if you guys seen this, but we've recorded plenty of other places where you should be seeing of all the episodes that are going to be coming out.
I was in the last podcast.
Yes and no. Introduce yourself one more time, my good co-host, sir.
Yo, I go by NetflixDon, and that's all.
NetflixDon. And today our guest, please, what is your good name, my good sir?
My name is Shawn.
Hey, let's go, Shawn. Welcome to the podcast, my good sir.
Thanks
So,
for
Mr.
having
Shawn,
me.
let's start with the basics, get to know you thing, because the people have seen you for the first time ever here, right?
Yeah.
So who is this Mr. Shawn who's standing before them today?
Well,
Like
like I said, my name is Shawn. I'm a student at Polytech, Florida Polytech University. I study computer science and cybersecurity. What else would you like to know?
Let's see. I would love
It's
to
just
know.
a basic rundown.
I'd love to know why you got into such a field.
Why?
Yeah, like me. And such things.
Well, the concept seemed very interesting at the time, around high school, because the high school I went to, you do 2 years in a technical program, and I did cybersecurity in those 2 years, and I liked it, and so I said, why not do it here at Poly as well, where I can actually, further whatever I do know.
So what you're telling me is, you can hack into my computer.
Not yet, but I plan on doing so. I only did the basic rundown of things in high school. There wasn't many advanced topics.
So you're gonna be hacking into people's stuff.
Of course,
The FBI,
if they want me to, and sure, if they hire me.
if they want you to, come on now.
I mean, if they hire me to do so, then yeah.
Who, okay.
Theoretically, I should be able to.
Like, what if I hire you to hack into the FBI? Why do you say that?
It
I
would
know.
require a lot of money to do so. It would take me it would take you a lot of money for you to convince me to hack into the FBI.
$50.
Wow, you are a great negotiator, mate. I mean,
They say always start low.
nah, you could times that by 1 million, then sure.
Million
50
cents?
million? 50
Oh, I
million?
could
I'd
definitely
do
million
it.
cents.
50 million?
Mm-hmm.
US.
Cents.
Nah, $50 million, mate. Then sure, I'll do it.
Anyway, my good second host, sir, how you been doing? Final's been going on, and I have a question for you guys. How did finally go?
Pass them.
Awesome.
Simple as that. Yep.
What about you?
Yeah, I'm done with this shit.
You done with this shit?
Yeah.
You finally out?
Yeah.
Let's go. So what you gonna do next?
Next,
Yeah.
I don't know about live life. Trying to be like G.I. but
Oh yeah, I forgot to totally introduce that. But today we have people in the audience. People in the audience want to say hi. What's up?
Hey.
Devin.
We have the almighty Devin on the background who will slide in the comment section to talk shit if he wishes to. Want to say hi in the comment, Devin? No.
I don't have to think of this time.
Devin want to be quiet today. So, Mr. Shawn, we brought you today because I have a few questions I would like to ask you. A few questions that piques my interest.
Go ahead.
As somebody who I've deemed to be slightly on the side of being a virtuous person,
Mhm.
I'm curious on what you would think of that. To you personally, do you think it would be better for people to think you to be a virtuous person, or to actually to not be a virtuous person and still appear the same?
I'd want people to think I'm a virtuous person, that I'd actually, have plans outside of just, things that are local, or, just plans outside of Florida, or, I want to change the world, I haven't, yeah, of course. Whether that is through computer science, whether that's through music, I have, big plans and dreams I hope to accomplish one day. And yeah, it's gonna take work, but, I plan on putting it in. But yeah, I'd like to think I'd like people to think that I'm a virtuous person, sure.
And do you think that should be regardless of the fact of whether you are or you're not a virtuous person at that point?
I mean, I would say I am, but, I am a virtuous person. So
Are you though?
Yeah.
You was willing to hack into the FBI for 50 million?
You wouldn't hack into the FBI for 50 million?
So what you're saying is your virtuosity, your
Come with a
goodness
curse.
can be bought off.
In
Yeah.
some instances,
In some
that could
instances.
potentially land me in prison.
Okay.
So
And the
then it would
question
take a
becomes-
hefty amount to like, you know.
Okay. Then the question becomes, what are the non-tangibles that you wouldn't put in money on? Why would you not put in money on? Is what I'm asking.
Like, what would I do for free?
No, why would you not like say no matter how much money they give you, the answer will always and will stay no.
Wow. Probably to kill someone. Yeah, I probably wouldn't kill anyone. I just don't have it in me.
Personally, or like in the chain of sequences of things?
No, like if someone was to try to pay me to kill someone, I wouldn't do it.
Okay. Let's say this. Somebody say, hey Shawn, you're a very good hacker. I need you to hack this drone and stop it from working. And by doing so, it might fall on a few people and crush them to death. What would you say?
I would say no, because then that's harming other people.
Well, you're not harming people. The drone is harming people.
Nah, but then it's because of me. But that doesn't like question my virtuosity? Virtuosity? Is that the word? But it doesn't question that. It just questions my morals, really. It has less to do with how virtuous I am and more of my moral, like, compass.
How do you find virtuous and how do you differentiate that from morality then?
Virtuous, I see that as how much risk really are you willing to take? So that's how I would judge a person that says they're virtuous. Like, are you just someone who just stays in your comfort zone, or do you like to come out of your comfort zone sometimes? And I wouldn't say that's like coming out of your comfort zone is breaching your morality at all. In some instances, like say I'm a Christian, yeah? It wouldn't be virtuous for me to go outside and denounce God. That would just be against my moral compass. It doesn't really make you virtuous, though.
Even with a gun to your head?
Yeah. It wouldn't make me virtuous. It would just mean that, like, you know.
So you think because you put a gun to someone's head, they should deny something they believe in?
You see, the thing is, I never said they should.
And
No, I'm
I
asking
just
you.
know
Yeah.
people will.
No, like you say even with a gun
yeah,
to
but
your
does
head.
that, like, question their virtue, or how virtuous they are? I wouldn't say so.
I want to say the same, but what I'm saying is, many people, if there's a gun to their head, will denounce it.
Mm-hmm.
I personally, I'll take the easy way out, because...
I mean, like, we know you. You do it on the regular.
Repeat that again? Repeat that again, please? I would love to hear you say that one more time.
I say you do it
In
on
full
the
sentence.
on the
Do what-
regular.
Do what on the regular?
Deny God, like his existence.
His existence.
Yeah,
Really?
like
What?
fuck God type of things.
Oh, hold on.
That's
Let me ask you this. When have you ever heard me say that I denounce the existence of God? The very
You see,
listen,
even Dre in the background
hold
is.
on, listen to this carefully. The very idea of cursing God means that you believe there's a God that exists who is doing something that is not in your favor, which deserves to be cursed. So by cursing out God, you're not saying he doesn't exist. You're actually confirming the existence of it.
It's funny because I remember that car ride. We were riding in the car and you were like telling me all type of things about like God and stuff like that. But hey, I don't know.
But did I ever say he doesn't exist?
Mhm.
Never heard of that word.
I mean,
I've said a lot of things. Denouncing him? No. I have a lot of issue with the nigga up there. Denouncing him is not one of them. Because I know he exists. The question is, how much good does that do me at the point of time that I'm saying what I'm saying? But sir, question. Have you always been a Christian or...
I was raised. My mom was Christian. My dad wasn't, but my mom would take me to church, and I would, go with her to like Bible meetings, churches on Sunday, and from that I became a Christian.
What specific reason made you choose that path out of curiosity?
Honestly, just seeing him in my life before even like making that choice for myself. Because you know how you get baptized as a kid, but you really don't know what you're doing.
I've seen them plenty of times.
Right, and so then, before I made the choice myself to like actually commit myself to Christ, I've seen, Yeah. I mean, it is a commitment. It's
Some niggas like this does have commitment issues.
is well, I guess,
I
but
don't say no names.
yeah.
I'm just saying.
I guess yeah, you can keep that to yourself. But yeah, before I made that commitment, just seeing him, just seeing the way that he influenced my life and affected my life before I knew him for myself was just so great that I was like, yeah, I can't even deny it anymore. I may as well just go through with this thing. Do I still have struggles with like following the Bible through and through? Of course, but that just comes with it, I think. So yeah.
Insightful. Deep. A little too much for me to unpack right now. So let me just say this. While you're before you started talking, I went and asked my good sir Google, my very good old pal, the definition of the word virtuous. And by definition, virtuous, having or showing high moral standings.
Oh.
And morality is principle concerning the distinction of between right, between wrong, good and bad behavior. So in that sense, they are intimately linked, you could say. So you could say that somebody who is virtuous has high moral standards.
Sure.
So in case, so how do you can actually differentiate it the way you did before that?
Well, that was my mistake then. You're right.
What about you, my good sir? You've been a little quiet.
What about me? I don't know, man. I'm all over the place nowadays. Yeah, I'm just trying to find myself, like I told you before.
Still trying to do so?
Yeah,
Damn, how many months has that been?
I mean, like, it's a journey, bro. It's not a, like, seriously.
Bro, God himself took like 42 days or something like that to find himself.
I mean, like, I'm not God, bro.
Just saying.
If I was God, I'll probably smite you right now. Just for questioning me. But, hey, I'm not.
You're not? So how's it going, by the way?
It's pretty good. Like I say, it's a journey, it's a process.
So, Shawn, can you help my good sir who's lost, this lost sheep, who's going to try to find himself through the world full of darkness and muddy?
I mean, it depends on his situation, really. I mean, I don't really want to like come on here like be preachy and like say a sermon to him and try to convert him.
The nigga's already
But-
converted. He's a Christian. He's 7 day, but still Christian.
Oh, he's just okay. Well, I mean,
I have no idea.
Hey, everybody look at the Bible slightly different. The 7 days look at different from the Catholics, who look at differently from the Christians.
Yeah.
A little bit. Some eat pork, some don't. Some bow down to the priest, some don't. Hey, each their own.
Mhm.
This is the part where I also make a joke about touching little kids, by the way, but I'm being honest.
we leave that to the Catholics.
Wow.
Well said.
Mhm.
But do explain to my good sir the situation you found yourself in. As you describe it yourself.
The situation I found myself.
Yes, the whole soul sucking. Please, I
You say it's soul sucking?
Yes, I really want to go back to that. I'm not even
It's
gonna lie.
searching or
What is
sucking?
this?
Okay,
Like,
What is going on right now?
okay. So
This
to the
is
people
not
who,
my area of expertise.
Okay.
Soul sucking?
I have no idea what that is. man.
Whoa. It's like that could go a multitude of ways.
it can go multiple ways, but let me tell you the exact way in context to what he said.
Mhm.
So, a while back on one of our podcasts, we were talking, and I asked him how he was doing. He's like, well, I'm trying to find myself. Because I find myself surrounded by people who just suck out my energy, drain me,
Well, then you
and
cut
I need to
those
rid myself of those people. I'm calling all y'all off.
That's soul sucking?
Yeah. Oh. Okay. Well, in that case, then just get rid of those people. It's quite simple.
I mean, like, that's what I said I was going to do, and that's what I did.
That's
right?
good.
He's like, the people want more and more and more from me, and I don't know how much I have. I'm trying to find ways.
Well, I didn't say I don't know how much I have. I said I have enough, but it's enough for me not to share.
Enough for just you then.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Would that be just a little selfish if you think about it?
I mean, everybody's selfish one way or another.
But to the extent to not even share all the goodness, the happiness, and joy they have in life.
It really depends on what you have and how much you're willing to share.
Okay, but you said you had enough for you,
I have enough for me. I didn't want to share it.
and I was wondering how much is that?
Enough for me.
How do you know?
How do I know it's enough for me?
I miss this?
This is fun. This is fun. This is really fun.
Hmm?
This is fun.
Indeed, it is. To some extent, it is hilarious sometimes, frustrating at times, and all around something good.
Got any more topic?
Mm. More or less topics, more conversations, you could say.
Alright, cool.
Okay.
Anything else you wanted to ask me?
Anything you wish to ask him, by the way?
Yeah. White poly. I don't know.
Ollie?
No.
Nah,
No.
I'm just.
That's
Hey,
a
that's a basic, but
That's
I
a terrible
mean,
question.
It's
Exactly.
yeah, it's
It's
quite
a-
it's
it's
quite
a
a
question,
simple
right?
answer.
Uh-huh.
It's pretty simple. It's cheap
Huh?
as hell. It was cheap as hell, and like
That's the answer.
the facilities they offered were pretty good. So I was like, yeah, Ollie.
Do you wish to ask a question, FC? Say something.
Yeah, what's his 3 favorite movies?
What's your 3 favorite movies?
Let's see. You have Endgame,
Mm-hmm.
Knives Out,
Mm-hmm.
and Wolf of Wall Street.
Come on, you can't change Endgame, put Infinity War.
Alright, instead of Endgame, I'll pick something else.
Cause like Infinity War, like if you really look at it that way, Infinity War is a way better movie.
Nah.
But you're being.
I like
it's
Infinity War more.
nostalgia.
Maybe it is recency bias.
It's nostalgia. No,
Maybe.
it's nostalgia.
You think so?
It has to. That's the only time people ever put Endgame over Infinity War.
Oh, no,
Nostalgia.
I just like Endgame.
You get to see all the characters back in their prime, the good old days. The plot is.
Alright, instead of any of those that first movie, Into the Spider-Verse, Spider-Man.
I'll give you that.
That movie's top tier Marvel movie.
Animation wise, I'll give it to you.
Mhm.
It is top tier.
Beautiful. The Leap of Faith. Amazing cinematography.
We should. I would love to get into that, but that is not something that is my area of expertise.
Oh.
So let me ask you this: beforehand, you said you wanted to change the world, do big things.
Mhm.
What do those include? I'm curious about that.
Well, I want to make people happy,
what
and
does
if that's
changing the world
through
mean to you?
change the world, you could say maybe through some breakthrough in computer science or in cybersecurity, or maybe just by making people happy through what I make in music.
I mean,
You know, that would be the goal.
So
yeah.
what do you do?
I mean, Hitler was trying to change the world.
Oh, hey. You
Well,
know.
yeah, and now I clarify that I'm not trying to kill Jews.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
sometimes you just gotta remove the bad apples from the good trees. I'm just saying.
No. We are definitely not gonna have that Hitler talk again. We've had the Hitler talk twice.
Hey, you had the
Both
Hitler
times.
talk.
I couldn't air the episode out because of idiots like this.
That was your fault last time.
Okay.
I kind of want to see those episodes now.
Listen. How do you make somebody defend the undefendable?
Huh?
That's basically what this thing got me to do. He got me to stand on the wrong side for the right reason.
Oh, so he like made you advocate for Hitler or something?
I want to say
Devin.
advocate.
Please.
He made you like a
Did
Hitler
I?
apologist
Say-
for an hour.
First of all, I'm not a Hitler apologist.
No, but he
Hitler
made you
Hmm?
take their stance basically.
No.
No.
I never took the sense of Hitler.
Mm-hmm.
What I was pointing out is specific aspects of him.
Are valid,
Yes.
such as.
Killing the Jews, bad. You went
Oh,
wrong.
oh wait,
Let me start with that.
yo, I was like,
No.
huh?
Let me start with that.
Killing the Jews is the good aspect of the whole thing.
No. Let me
What?
I have to start out with that.
Oh.
Killing the Jews, bad. Starting World War II, bad. But if you look at it from like, let's just say, if you really think about it hard, all the nigga was trying to do was make Germany a less shitty place. And the reason Germany was a shitty place, because everybody else dumped all of their issue from World War I on Germany, make Germany the scapegoat.
Uh-huh.
So if you really think about it, World War II isn't Hitler's fault.
It is though.
No. Let me finish. It is the fault of all the countries who won World War I, who decided to blame Germany and Germany only by forcing them into absolute poverty to the point where somebody like Hitler would be their saving grace.
Valid, but in response, he committed mass genocide.
Man,
I never
sometimes,
said that. I never
So
said
are-
that.
are we-
sometimes,
so are
sometimes
we
you
gonna-
gotta do what you gotta.
Are we
do.
gonna like take his intentions then over the actual like results of his intentions? Because if his intentions were just to like make Germany better, then he wouldn't kill his own people. Because he did that
Well,
too.
you see, the thing is, if your arm is rot,
You
if you,
just get this one.
we're gonna end it on this one.
All right.
If you believe your arm is rotting away, and you believe the only way to stop it from burning the rest of the body is to cut it, would you cut your arm?
Yeah.
Now, what if you were delusional and you were on acid and you saw your arm rotting away and you had a knife next to you? Wouldn't you really do the same thing?
No.
That would mean you would cut a. Listen. The same thing. You see, and you think your arm is rotting. Now you're like, oh shit, it's gonna spread to the rest of the body. Now what you're gonna do is like you're gonna cut off the arm.
Go to the end.
It's a perfectly good arm. So Hitler is delusional, of course.
Was the arm good though?
Hmm?
Was the arm good?
Yes, the arm was good.
Questionable.
It was such a topic.
Listen,
This is.
you see what I'm saying? I said the arm is good, and he says questionable. What do I do with that? What do I do with that?
I don't know, man.
Hey.
I kind of just don't want to talk about Hitler anymore. Yeah, I'm trying to like have this podcast be aired.
You know how much
No,
oh,
people see this.
It's already live. That's the
Oh,
thing.
okay.
That's about this.
Live?
Yes.
Oh, it's I thought it was like pre-recorded.
Okay, like, a lot
Oh,
of
that's crazy.
A lot of podcasts are pre-recorded, but so far I haven't had time this semester, so I've been doing more lives
Uh-huh.
because I can just switch from what I have. So yeah.
Alright, dope.
So you do not wish to be a suicidal maniac, dead bent on killing people
Correct.
like Hitler, but you wish to innovate, right?
Yeah.
What kind of innovation are you personally thinking right now that you think you can bring? Where do you see the future being at?
In hip hop right now,
Not hip hop,
well,
but like in
well-
your field of studying.
in my field of study. Oh, I thought you
Yes.
just meant in general. I apologize, but I'm not really sure. I'd have to do more research on it, but nanotech is obviously like a huge thing. That's what's really bringing the money at the moment. If I can
Yeah.
find a way to like insinuate, or no, not insinuate, include nanotechnology into cybersecurity, then like
So
that would be quite innovative.
EMP will be good too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Correct.
Like, they made of us, everybody's going transition into that. Sometimes you gotta cut them off, Let them be part of the real world,
Mm-hmm.
Shut off the internet for a second.
I honestly think I might regret saying this, but what's your thought on 5G, by the way?
Huh?
The new hottest thing people
Oh, God.
was running about before 2020.
Don't tell me you think it's giving people COVID.
Nah, I don't think it's giving people COVID. It's probably giving y'all something else, but hey, it's not up to me. I'm not doing no research on that.
What about you? What do you think of this new system?
It's good.
It's good, even though it's literally gonna mean that they're gonna have to uproot like most of the current system that exists.
I think it's a very good
What-
innovative
For
technology.
for a slim marginal increase to the regular folks, to the regular people.
That marginal increase to a lot of people are willing to pay for it.
Because listen, like the actual difference between 4G right now and 5G, if you're on Instagram, it's like having 5 more pictures loaded before when you're scrolling down.
That's convenient for a lot of people. And the thing you have to like realize in the field of technology, if you just remove that slight inconvenience, that'll make you millions. So let's
it's all
say,
about the money.
yeah. And it's just all about like, removing those very minor first
So-
world problem inconveniences.
You know, I'm
So,
looking at
for
this
someone
like-
who-
Like for example, your refrigerator, now you can see what's in your fridge before you even open it.
So
To
So-
eliminate people having to like open the fridge and be like, oh,
So I'm gonna see
I
my
really
fridge,
don't
I'm
want
checking
anything
it
in here.
empty before I look to make sure I
yeah, exactly. Like that slight inconvenience alone made Samsung millions. And so 5G is doing that right now, even though it's, just loading up 5 more pictures.
is that the only thing it's doing though? I mean, like,
Well, no,
you in the
obviously,
tech
like,
world.
it just makes,
But the question is, at some point you
speeds
gotta
much
ask,
faster, like, things
at
load
what
up
cost is it?
quicker.
At what cost do we just make things easier and faster and cheaper and
I mean,
I like cars to that.
that's the goal. That's just human evolution, to be fair.
But if you really think about it, don't you think we went wrong somewhere? Because, like, okay, not gonna lie.
I mean,
Personal grab against your generation, I don't, because, like, after 2000, I think everything went wrong. After 2000, everything went wrong. I'm not even gonna hide it. I'm not
Still
gonna
is.
hide it.
I mean,
You see, everybody agree with me.
I mean, it's just
Everybody
human.
born before the 2000 agree with me.
I mean, it's just human evolution to want to make things easier. I mean, think back
True,
to
but
when.
But we're not evolving fast enough to actually evolve with our own evolution.
That's what COVID
What do you
is
mean?
for now. You get the magic potion, and now you're Superman. Get with the program, bro.
Where's this going? Where's this going?
For the first time, I'll say this. I can't cut this. This is the shit I gotta cut out. This is the shit I gotta do
Oh
it.
Lord.
This is why it takes me about 7 days plus to get a regular episode out. And on rare occasions, a whole month. So please do us a favor. Do like, comment, and subscribe to the Morning Training Podcast. So,
I actually like to make the comment.
Oh.
so yes,
my
do
God.
like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. That way I can actually hire an editor to just cut the stupid shit he gonna say. Make my life way easier by 100%. Now back to our regular schedule.
Program, yeah.
Bruh, I wish with all my heart we could make this scripted.
Can you see like the comments?
I wouldn't like it as much though if it was scripted. You know, I'm just reading
Yeah, I
from
guess the
something.
comments like,
Yeah.
Nah, that's why.
nigga said, great discussion so far. I feel. But
Let's
yeah,
have a more like fun discussion, twist from the regular political
okay.
conspiracy.
This is not
Yeah.
conspiracy. This is not. Okay, the audio is working perfectly fine. The video isn't working properly, so what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna remove this part. I made it back again. This is one of the things that you don't deal with when you do post processing. However, sometimes you need to live, so I don't have to edit it, and you guys can actually get videos. Yay! Boom, back integrated. For back, like nothing ever happened.
Cool.
Oh, I have a question for you, John.
Yes, do ask a question. What is the question?
I just want to know your favorite 3 movies too. Like, I feel like this is gonna be interesting too.
Okay, let's see. My favorite 3 movies.
I want Mark answers too.
Oh no, bro, I don't watch movies.
My
like
favorite
that.
3 movies. Okay, so The Garden of Words. That's one. See, as much as I think like the Spider-Verse is like greatness, animation wise, and I think the plot is great, I can't put it in top 3 for me. Second, I'll say Infinity Wars.
All right.
Cause like, bruh, I can quote every single line of Thanos in that movie. They're that fucking amazing to me. And then 3. There's no. Oh yes, I wanna eat your pancreas. No. Listen. I wanna eat your pancreas. Is a melancholic romance animation.
No way.
Yes, romance animation. It's
I wanna eat your
pancreas. Yes. Okay, so I wanna eat your pancreas. So the movie is based around the
Are
lore.
you sure the word is pancreas?
Yes.
Yeah.
It literally is like, you know what I'm talking about, right? Shawn, please explain to me how great of a movie that movie is.
From all the things that you
I've never watched it, but I've heard of it. And I off the name alone, I kind of just don't want to watch it. Why would I want to watch that?
Okay.
though?
Let me convince you in less than 5 minutes on the reason why you all should watch I Wanna Eat Your
Eat a
Pancreas.
pancreas.
So, the movie starts out with this guy meeting this girl who has, well, in the first 5 minutes you're going to realize that she's dying. And they proceed on to being friends from there on, fall in love, all the good shit. And explore loving at the end of your life. basically. Sweet story, romantic, melancholic because you have this looming idea that she's gonna die. Basically, that's all I'm gonna tell you without the spoilers.
Cool.
Whether she died or not, you're gonna have to find out yourself.
Okay,
But the
cool.
movie is great.
Alright.
Huh? Nah, let's bring it back to some shit I said already. If you're a real nigga, when the tears start going down, you pull it back in there. So obviously, no.
I never cried.
I cried from a TV show in the movie though.
Pussy.
What show was it?
Avatar.
Oh,
What?
the hell?
Avatar?
Nah, bro.
What part? Bro, what part possibly from Avatar could you cry from?
The Tales of Ba Sing Se, the one with
Wait.
Uncle Iroh.
Oh, really?
When his son died,
that's
and
the
he was
part.
singing "Leaves from the Vine."
Really?
That was sad as hell.
It was, but at the same time, I never met the nigga to give a shit.
Oh,
I
come
love
on.
Iroh, but like, come on.
That
I
part
gotta
of the
cry for
show,
that
it
nigga.
wrecked me.
I can't
What?
cry for no anime.
That's crazy.
Bruh, can't do it. Can't do it.
It was crazy. It was amazing. So I was
Okay,
like, yeah,
you know what?
great.
There's one show that got me to cry out of pure, like, it wasn't like crying sad. It was just like pure frustration. It was Yojo Senki, or as everybody will know it to be, the Loli Nazi anime.
The what?
Loli Nazi anime.
The lowly Nazi anime.
Yes,
A lot of-
that's literally what it is.
A lot of Hitler references
Okay.
in this
Okay,
podcast.
so the story of the anime goes simple like this. This guy who lives in the modern world get pushed off of a railway, dies, go to another world, get reincarnated as a little girl into a World War I, World War II era, where the Germany, in this case, the fatherland or Frankentini, whatever the actual name of the country she is born in, and then she's like, oh, but I should tell you that when he died, he met God or this being which you're
Spoiling the show for people who would watch it.
That's the second episode.
Okay.
That's the second episode. So basically, in the second episode, you figure out that he met God, who decided because he didn't have enough faith that he would be reincarnated into a world where he would actually gain faith because of hardship and all that good bullshit. And he's like, I refuse to believe in you. I will live my life as easy as possible. And that's his/her goal for the whole thing. To not die and to live a simple life away from danger. It's hilarious. It's also a military anime. You get to see her shoot a lot of niggas and way too fun.
Alright.
But it's kind of frustrating at a few points. I'm like, ah.
You should watch Dexter.
Hmm?
You should watch Dexter.
That's too long.
It is kind of long. But it's
Exactly. Too long.
Dexter, you ever watched it?
Too long.
Yeah, that's
Bro,
the show that
fire
made
me
me
from
cry.
Dexter though.
Hmm?
Fire me from Dexter. You know me already from
The meme?
Yeah.
Yeah,
There was
surprise.
when you whisper the foreign language.
Oh, no, not Dexter's Lab, and then Dexter, the crime show.
The Netflix series,
Yeah, it's a TV.
not the
Oh,
cartoon.
Not the cartoon.
My lord.
Huh?
That is like, that show made me cry. That made me cry.
Crap for good. By the way, let's see. I forgot the straight we were on before, but it was something about breakthroughs. I was looking at your opinion on 5G, and
He's changing the world, bro.
yes, he wants to change the world. But at what cost? Oh yes, I was talking about how I hate your millennials, and how y'all want everything faster, cheaper, and ruining the world and the environment.
Or Gen Y.
Anybody after the 2000s, y'all niggas have your life easy. Y'all didn't go through any hardship at all.
Are we?
I mean, compared to the people who came before us, neither did you.
Well, fair enough, yeah. Yeah.
And that would be true if I was born in America.
Well, yeah, that's
Well,
that-
well,
yeah.
well then. You got me, mate.
They just raised with a lot more technology.
But yeah,
Yes.
it's just
and
human evolution.
And I'm just saying this, even, bruh.
Be
I feel
thankful
kind of
for
a
it.
hypocrite saying this as somebody who posts content online. But I feel like it is robbing.
You're streaming right now, complaining about how
Like I
technology's
said,
bad.
I feel like it's kind of hypocritical to say that. But at the same time, it's rotting people's brains, man.
Wow, you are a hypocrite.
Yeah.
I love technology.
Listen,
like
listen,
an
listen,
old
listen,
head,
listen,
old
listen,
head.
listen, listen.
I watch YouTube videos and go to sleep.
What?
Facts.
See what I'm saying?
But I watch boring stuff though. Like I watch chess videos to go to sleep.
Of course, chess videos are great.
Yeah.
Honestly, I've been meaning to get into chess.
Master Hikaru.
But let's go back to the making people happy part of you wanting to make the world, your dream of changing the world. How do you wish to accomplish that second part? Because it is
Make people happy
quite a
through
it's
through
vague and it's kinda
cybersecurity.
large.
Through cybersecurity or just in general.
Both.
You say you wanna make people happy?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Throughout the wall?
yeah.
How do you do that?
That's
Well,
my question.
through the music I make, or
Man.
maybe I'm not sure how I could do it through cybersecurity. Like other than people are protected. Like
having
yay,
to
their
hide.
identities
Not
aren't
like-
stolen anymore. Like but
Do you make music?
I like making hip hop beats.
Oh, wait, you see?
Oh, that's cool.
Wait, you play any instruments?
No,
Also,
my
digital.
yeah.
Ooh. Do you have a beat sample that I can just start rapping on right now? Even
Do
though
I
my
have a
freestyle is
beat
still-
that I could show you right now that you could just start rapping on?
Yeah, man.
Sure.
Even though my
Don't
freestyle.
let Charles rap. Just.
I mean, I'm down.
Okay, drop it.
Oh, God.
Bruh, I
think
thought
I'm
you
going
were
home
to
now.
be freestyling all the time.
Lord.
Oh,
Here we go.
damn. Check out bars though. So go get bars too.
Yeah, Tito surprises me every time.
I used to freestyle back in the old days when I was like
Do you have like a speaker?
100 years.
Do you have like a speaker?
Oh,
No, I just blasted.
no, this is his beat. Never mind. I was gonna say copyright, but that's his beat.
Yeah.
Well, the sample might get me in trouble, but whatever.
Oh.
The sample.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Nah.
No,
Fuck
you
it.
definitely get in trouble for sound.
If you two try to take us down, I'll go fight them myself.
Super doesn't care about that.
Cause they don't really care about us.
Michael
Michael
Jackson.
reference, folks.
Yes, sir.
Beyond your years, children's.
It's beyond that.
I'm not even that old.
Yeah, bro, you're like 4 years older than me. Whoa.
Blast it, let me hear.
Blast it? Cool. I sampled a bass line from Stevie Wonder.
Stevie Wonder? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, definitely don't put it next to the speaker because that'll make it go way too loud. Let me
Oh,
check.
okay, cool.
Guess what, right where you are? No, not there you are, but that's...
Yeah, let's turn it all the way up and just press play.
You see, I haven't know how to use this phone. Boomer.
Yo, I sampled a skip bro. Freestyle.
Bro, you gonna go in or not? Is it gonna
Yeah,
go in or
I'm
not?
waiting for the freestyle, but like,
Oh, this beat reminds me like something off the Phil song. So.
I've never heard a beat like that. That's why I don't know what to do on it.
So you, can,
It's
so you
freestyle,
don't know how
bro.
to freestyle, just go off, bro.
I just write some music without trying to freestyle, folks. Can a nigga not get prohibited to doing some freestyle?
I mean, go ahead.
Why not you? Why don't
I
you
thought
do
that was the point.
Why don't you have some bars?
Boy, I don't rap, bro. I don't do nothing like that, bro.
I'll shoot like this is not just how beat I rap to.
Huh?
Or sing to.
I like it. I like it.
Thank you.
But you know, if we get enough likes on this video and enough comments, I just might drop just one song. Collaboration, you know?
That
whole
for
How
real?
much likes?
I can write. I can tell you that for sure.
So,
I might not be able to comment on the top of my head, but I can write like
What's the like goal?
Hmm?
What's the like goal?
I don't care. Just make it real. Just make it something I'm like, you know what? Good enough for me to actually work for on something. You know? Just make it.
I mean, like.
You know what? You know what? Let me give them a go.
100 likes?
Yes.
100 likes.
100 like. We're dropping a music video.
A music
A
video.
video.
Yes, we're
I
gonna.
thought we're just dropping a song, dog.
We're gonna drop the song and the video. We're gonna do the whole thing, the whole shebang.
I mean, I'm just a producer, so I'm gonna be in it. It's all good.
I'm the camera, the model.
Whoa.
Oh,
Alright, so we got like a.
exactly.
We got a music video.
We have the
music video.
whole crew set up. All you gotta do is get.
I'm
this
assuming
video.
it's R&B.
Hmm?
I'm assuming it's R&B.
Of course, bruh. I already have the chorus for it already. A while back, me and my homies, we were just like talking shit, and we came up with this wonderful like chorus for a song. It was like, can I take you home tonight?
Oh.
Something along those lines.
I'm out.
Damn, we lost the model, man.
Wild.
Hmm?
You lost the model, dog.
hack to change the world, make people happy. A great philosopher, not me, probably me at some point, would probably said that in trying to make everybody happy, you usually end up not happy yourself and making everybody pissed off at you. So to that, do you think it is a wise thing to try to make everybody in the world happy?
Is it even possible?
Well, I mean, I try to make as many people happy as I can. I can't realistically make everyone happy. I'm gonna piss someone off. So no matter what I do.
You know, Hitler did
So,
that.
Wow.
Wow.
You love Hitler, don't you?
Bro,
This guy really likes Hitler.
I'm done now. I'm done. I promise.
Wow. That is crazy.
Cut that out after the live show finish.
what?
There are gonna be so many cuts in this.
Listen, Hitler did stuff a lot of people though. That is factual.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
Okay,
but-
let's leave it at that.
Oh man. Yeah. Back to making people happy.
Yeah.
So when talking about happiness, like what is that to you, by the way? Enlighten me with this.
Happiness?
Yes.
Do you have access to
Yeah.
the internet?
Please, does anybody, look, like for real, does anybody get that joke?
I'm not accessing it, yeah.
No, before that one, he said it while I laughed. Anyway, what is happiness to you?
To me, just ultimate comfort in within myself.
It is comfortable, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Whoa.
That is.
I don't know what they're on, dog.
Whoa.
I'm just trying to answer the question I was given. But these two are tripping.
Really? That's crazy,
These two
bro.
are tripping.
Yeah, my apologies. Let's go back to happiness. I apologize. Let's go back to happiness. So, what is happiness to you?
Comfort within oneself.
Oh yeah,
you know,
definitely.
just me. I'm happy. I would say.
You're
I'm-
definitely happy.
I would say I'm very comfortable within my own skin. I'm comfortable with being by myself. And I feel like if you're not happy by yourself, then you really aren't ever truly happy. Because like if you can't love other people more than you love yourself, right? That's just a contradicting thing. And so then if you're not happy with yourself, then there's no way you can be happy at all.
Let's just say my co-host right there is very dishappy with himself for some reason. I don't know why. How would you go about telling this boy to get out of his
I'll
stuff
be
and pick
I'll
up
be the
himself?
scapegoat.
I mean, I'm no
I don't say
therapist.
me, but like,
I'm no therapist, but maybe try and find like some inspiration outside of where you reside or outside of where you live. Personally, if I need to cheer up, I like to discover and delve into different music genres outside of just the United States. So maybe like recently,
some drill. Some UK
I mean
drill.
that you can find in the U.S. though.
Really, UK drill in the US?
Well,
Yes.
you could find New
You say
York drill,
drill,
there's
Chicago
Chicago
drill.
drill.
For real?
Yeah.
Yeah. You never heard
I'm not-
Chief Sosa?
Like
bro?
as of recent,
Bro, I am not well versed in music. If
Bro.
I hear it and I like it, I put it on my list.
Bro.
And
Well,
I
I mean,
look
that's
for what I
right.
get. Simple.
but yeah, there are different like types of drill. So like yeah, but recently I've been trying to get into more like the old Afrobeat, not like new stuff like Wizkid, but more old
Whiskey's
stuff like
been around for like my whole lifetime.
really.
Yeah,
Well,
pretty
Oh, I
sure.
actually didn't know
You
that.
mean Essence? Like Essence is a newest song.
Yeah, like 70s Afro beat.
Oh, okay, so even like old, like
Yeah,
old and okay.
yeah. I've it's recently made me pretty happy. Like, it's really dope to always discover new stuff that you've never heard before, and that like inspires you to want to just do more, or just get active. Like maybe, let's say tomorrow I discover an album, it's of a genre that I've never heard in my life. Maybe I hear a new sound and then that inspires my own sound, and then I can always like put that to work. So maybe what it really inspires. So like you have to find what inspires you. Maybe if you're unhappy, maybe you should like try going outside and try to like delve into nature, or try to maybe travel. Try to find
sunbathe,
yourself
bro.
somewhere else.
Sunbathe.
Sunbathe.
Yeah, let's just get out of like where you normally stay, because if your plan is to be happy, and you're always consistently unhappy, like wherever you reside or wherever you live, try maybe moving or getting out of that environment, and maybe you'll find, success there.
What if my unhappiness is because I don't like people? What do you do now?
Well, I'm not sure like how I would like address that. Like if you just don't like people, then I guess try to isolate. Maybe their happiness comes through isolation. Like maybe going out to the mountains or something, into like some small cottage where it's just you and your thoughts.
Yeah, pull up. What you guys think?
I was gonna say, like, you might think you don't like people, but like you say, getting out of the environment, you're gonna interact with a whole different type of people. So you don't know if you don't necessarily like people, but you might just not like the people around you.
True,
Okay, so
that
you
too.
might not like the people around you. It's not like you don't like people in general.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this though. Like, I like you saying that, but I found it. Let me ask you this. Okay, so think like this. The architect of what a person is doesn't really change from places to places. Would you say that's true?
Yeah.
If at some point in your life you've met all of the architects and you'll find yourself to be at odds with all of them, at some point you might end up with by saying, oh, I'm the problem, but you might also be like, maybe we're just not meant to get along.
Right.
At that point, you might just think seclusion is the best idea.
I mean, I can agree. Seclusion could be the best idea, but I'm just saying you don't rule off people in general when you haven't experienced like all people, or even close to all people.
Okay.
'Cause
Okay.
we're
Now
not
let me
gonna
give you some.
experience a lot of people.
So experience more people. I agree with that. Now let me give some pushback to my idea, because I used to think the same way too. Fuck people. People are useless. They can go screw themselves. But ultimately in life, when you do this whole seclusion thing, you found at some point, it might take 4 years like it took me. It might take 10 years like it takes other people. It might take a whole century. But eventually, you're going to find out that... Give me 1 second. Yo, you in front of the door?
Ain't no way.
Yeah,
Great example of a useless person.
yeah, pull up. Okay. Now, as I was saying, eventually that person is going to realize that you
Kind of need people.
I'm reluctant to... Listen.
Hey yo.
Listen.
What
I
up,
am
man?
really... Yeah. I am reluctant to say need, but you start seeing how beneficial it would be to have people. Because I hate to say it, but it is true, but there are strength in numbers. The more people you have, the more you are able to spread out the load and even shrug off your own and dip into somebody else to actually explore.
That's your mad squeaky, my guy.
Facts, need some oil. But you know what they say? Only squeaky chairs get the wheels, get the oil.
What? What are you talking
Never heard
about,
that
bro?
Only the squeaky wheels get the oil.
Nah,
get the
dog.
grease?
You made that up on the way here.
No, that is not made up. Only the squeaky
saying,
wheels
dog.
get.
Only?
Only
Only?
Only the squeaky
That's
wheel
that
get
only?
the grease.
That's the only part that we don't understand.
No.
Wow.
Let put on the white. Let put on the white.
That
The
is
saying-
a
the saying-
very, that is a
squeaky
saying.
Gears get the grease.
It's the wheel.
It's the gears.
It's the wheel.
gears.
Okay, I don't know. Basically, what the thing is saying is be vocal about your fucking issues, because if you don't get grease, and then you just break down. Huh?
Grease is not supposed to be a good thing in this.
Really?
Yeah.
That you just make it run smoother.
This isn't even like an
It
analogy. This is
usually
like
is.
What are we?
literal.
Yeah.
It is a literal analogy. I thought it always was.
It's a literal analogy.
It's supposed to be saying, shut up and don't get people to pay attention to you.
No, it says
People pay attention to you.
when you speak out.
What's
That's
so
what it
annoying?
says. Speak out so people pay attention to you.
Yeah, but they usually need that in the other way when they use that analogy.
What's going on?
A similar analogy that actually makes sense is like, only the highest nail gets hammered down.
Not true. But I get the point.
How many people are watching right now? I'm watching.
Oh lord. Oh lord.
Turn my shit up. Okay.
unaffiliated, of course.
Uh-huh.
Now, back to what we're talking about. Her penis. Yes. When did we end on happiness?
See, he caught on quick. Like seriously,
No,
everybody else was
it's a
just
game.
lacking.
It's a game we play. We say it the loudest. So,
We were talking about seclusion and how.
about seclusion. Other than seclusion, which he innovate, which I actually disadvocate for, you said the person should remove themselves from.
Maybe isolation is where you find your peace.
No, but like you said, at some point you said the person should change environments.
Mhm.
But like, isn't that something to be said with like actually not running away from the environment, but actually analyzing it and actually like and take the environment for what it is?
I'm confused as to what the
There it
question
is.
is.
They say that there's a specific tree. If you plant it in salt water, it'll grow differently than if you plant it in fresh water.
Mhm.
If you plant it on the ground, it'll grow differently. I think it's a growth that's like that.
Mhm.
But like depending on the environment where you put the seeds, it will grow differently. Should not be the same case for a person.
Of
The
course it
environment
is.
might be fucked up, but they should be able to stay in that environment, see it for what it is, and grow with that.
Can I make a Hitler reference?
Gone, bro.
Yes, go
Feel
ahead.
free
Make
to
it
do
a
that shit,
reference.
bro.
If Hitler grows up in a different environment, does he turn out the same way?
That depends.
If you grow up in America, it's a white supremacist.
And if you put him in Africa?
He'll become like Malcolm X.
But if you give these girls fathers,
Don't worry. Like that.
Oh.
they'll grow up to be law-abiding citizens.
Okay, Corey. You know what? I want to enjoy this conversation because I actually find it highly entertaining, that conversation right there.
Wow.
That's
We're just
crazy.
delving into
I find a lot of conversation entertaining. Okay, so you say if you give these girls fathers, what happened?
You give
They
people,
will grow up to be law-abiding
if you give
citizens, right?
people
Or just
fathers,
No. Let's go with that. Let's go. No. Let's go with his specific example, and then I'll make it general after that. Give these girls fathers, they'll grow up to be law-abiding
It's not
citizens.
even about abiding the law. It's just self-respect.
They'll grow up to have self-respect.
Yes.
Now, let me say this. By saying that, you're saying that when they grow up without a father, they end up on the pole, right? I've heard the saying before.
I mean,
they're more
not
likely
necessarily
to.
opposed,
Huh?
just
They're more likely
they're
to
more
end up
likely
on a pole.
Now, let me say this. Have you ever heard the saying, girls with daddy issue give the best head?
Wow.
What does that have to do?
So you're kind
That's what I'm
of
saying.
so
What I'm
you're-
saying
so
is
you're validating
the
his
presence-
statement.
The presence of a dad does
Detracts
not.
from that.
no. You just proved this
No.
point.
Trying to say like
You just
Yeah,
proved
yeah.
this point.
The dad was there, but the problem is they have issue with the dad.
So,
That's still
but I mean, the
father's
father's there.
No, it's not father's behavior.
I mean,
Hey.
a daddy
Hey, is
issue.
that-
A
is
daddy issue could be absence.
yeah.
Is,
Yes, but that's not the same. By the same time,
is
it
that,
usually isn't.
so
But you usually grew up in.
so
Listen.
there's a benefit to a deadbeat dad.
So there's a benefit to having no dad.
All I'm saying is, the presence of the dad does not make or detract from somebody.
It makes you more likely to not fall into trouble if you have a father. That's just common sense.
I'm not saying it doesn't decrease. I'm just saying, irrelevant of the fact of whether the father doesn't go like this. This is the mic that we're working with. Yeah.
So nobody can hear me.
They can hear you to some extent. You
Okay.
can dip in this one if you want to. Feel free to.
Hey yo.
Hey yo.
Hey, yo.
Anyway,
The
as I
pool
was
would
saying,
change this, man. Go crazy, yo.
anyway, as I was saying, the presence of the dad does not detract from the fact that they can end up in the same place. Especially if the dad end up being bad.
Okay.
Also,
So
I was
what
doing
does that
different.
have to do with
Yeah. like you're more likely
I'm
to
saying the
be in a
presence of
good
the dad does
spot.
not increase or decrease.
Yes, it does.
self-
Definitely
It
increases or
does.
decreases the chance of it.
It decreases the chances for sure.
I can't say that.
I mean,
How
yeah,
does
you
it
might have
not?
fathers
Mhm.
that- Okay, I'm just gonna be real with you.
Mhm.
From all the sloppy toppy I've given, the girls with fathers give.
Whoa! Hey yo!
David?
Hey yo! Hey yo!
Hold on, which camera we on? Yo, accident.
Nailed that one right there.
Got it.
Yo!
Yo, turn this camera off right now.
Cut the stream
Got this
off.
shit right. Got it.
Nah,
Alright,
you're tripping.
Hey,
Yo, Yo, the
I'm getting
pull
it.
the chains this nigga, dog.
Okay, yeah, so from all the stuff he's talking, I've got,
You've got to not receive.
What?
not received. I've
Let me
received.
trick him. Let me trick him into saying it again.
I have received.
Uh-huh.
The ones from girls with fathers have been more mid.
More mid.
Yes. So I'm not validating like
You know what you should do? You should make them want your approval the same way they want their dad's approval. Maybe that will increase their.
that's just toxic behavior.
Wow.
Sir, you embrace the toxicity.
You are a
I
bad
didn't say you were
person.
wrong.
That's
I
fair
just said
enough.
it's toxic.
Didn't you tell him not to embrace toxicity like way earlier today?
I was trying to, but he already embraced it. What I can do is tell him to stop embracing it.
I
But
guess.
here's the thing, like the problem with his toxicity is it keeps showing results. If it shows results, no matter what I say, it doesn't really matter. He won't want to stop.
Mhm.
So I gotta find him a good girl as everybody wants.
They don't exist.
Okay,
They
please,
don't.
sir, come to the table for a minute.
Okay, this is what I was waiting for. This is why I'm
Yes,
here.
sir.
This moment to shine, brother. Let's go.
Negro Corey.
Let me give your own personal camera over here. Please, oh no, you gotta speak over the thing to the smack right there.
To which mic?
The mic right there.
Yo.
You don't gotta go like that. You don't gotta go like that, you know.
Alright.
Yeah. So please enlighten us in that toxicity and it working and why you have a reason and why you think there's nothing as a good girl. Because I think he'll say different. So I'll let you talk it out.
They exist. They're just really hard to find.
Yeah, okay, let me
How
say
hard?
that. Like, how many women exist in the... Okay, so there's 7 billion people in the world, and like around 4 million or 4 billion or 3.5 billion of them are females, right? Because they outnumber men,
Yeah, they outnumber.
like basically 2 to 1. So,
Oh.
I mean, from that math, like 2 out of every 3 million probably.
Okay, so
Like-
the world population
I am
is
so confused.
3,000,009. Fucking.
What do you
So there's
want?
basically 4 billion women in the world,
Yeah.
essentially.
Mhm.
Yeah, so like every 2 and 3 million.
Yeah. Oh, wait, hold up.
Yeah.
We are currently 50.5% of the ratio. They're 49.5.
Okay, so
So
men
there's
have
no-
outnumbered
Yes.
women.
We officially
Whoa.
outnumbered them.
When did that happen?
It don't matter.
Hey, I make it official.
It don't matter. It don't matter. So every 2 and like 3, 4, 10 million, I think you find like a good girl somewhere. You know, she probably has a father.
Oh yeah, okay. I actually said in America it's 58 and.
I don't care about
the rest is
America.
no. We live in America.
You live in America.
Where you live?
Hey yo,
Where you do right
I
now?
reside in America.
Oh.
I'm a citizen of Jamaica. Okay.
Oh.
Yes, I can't claim. I can't claim that.
Okay, fine. Go. Keep going to the hard to find.
Oh.
Mhm.
I mean, they're born like not evil and shit.
Mhm.
But I mean, like once they hit, 8, 9, 10,
Mhm.
yeah, no, that's it. They're done.
They're done.
Yeah.
10.
The goodness is gone.
What are they doing at 10, fam?
Fam, I've seen some mad shit. Don't lie to you, dog.
Alright, dog.
13-year-olds being pregnant. And
What?
everything, like that shit.
Well, that does happen.
That's not that crazy.
That doesn't mean they're
There's a whole show about it.
But if the way they get pregnant is by toxic men, and we need to address toxic men. Keep doing what you're doing, okay? Just
Wait, let's relax on that statement.
Big pause.
Yo.
Big pause.
They're both
Let's go on the
adults,
why.
Toxic men, keep doing what you're
no, that's what I was about to say. Once they are adult, pause. My bad.
This stream's gone.
My
We're not
bad.
gonna see this episode.
YouTube hasn't come to stop us yet, so we're still live. We can still talk all our shit.
Okay, but like, fun and jokes aside, because I actually want to be employed one day. So like, women and men are equally horrible human beings, and there's a saying in Jamaica, like that nowadays everybody a bumble. So you just have to find a bumble will make you feel that way. Like you have to accept that everybody's gonna have their flaws and nobody's ever gonna be perfect, but you have to compromise in a relationship or in any situationship to, create some kind of mutual feeling between you guys that makes you want to commit to the person.
I
long
love
term.
this.
So,
We have
I know
wholesome-
I'm toxic.
We have wholesome one. We have wholesome too. I love it.
I know
the
I'm
combination
toxic,
could be so great.
and I just want, fellow toxic girl.
This is wholesome as you can get from a toxic person.
Hey, man,
I don't know
see
why
one
people think I'm
wholesome person
toxic.
at this whole table.
Oh yeah.
Like somebody stopped me today at work and they're like, "Why you always posting shit like you're a player?" And I'm like,
You are.
"It's just funny. I don't live by that shit.
It is funny though.
It's
I'm
just
not gonna lie.
funny,
It is
bro.
funny. It is funny.
Yeah, it's
I'll
for
agree.
bands.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
know.
So, in your years of living, how
My-
many of
my
those
20 years of
so-called good girls have you landed upon?
Good question.
Because I know, because I personally know.
No,
One of
alright. You personally know one of them.
When you know them too. Hmm.
Does she watch your channel? Okay, yeah. So, yeah, I know one good girl that I'm talking to. Yep. Or that I talk.
Yo.
How do I phrase this?
You've gone too far.
There is a good girl that exists out there somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And
Are you currently in knowledge of her existence? 'Cause okay, let me just say this though, like I honestly believe
Marcy? Huh?
Whoa.
I have to come back to work right now? Okay, I'm on my way. No worries.
Oh my god, you just got a call. Damn, how cold. You gotta leave. But I honestly believe that there's no such thing as a good and there's no such thing as a bad girl.
Yeah.
No such thing as a toxic man. No such thing as a pure like. Okay, there are some, but like there's no such thing as like
Yo.
a pure like not good guy. No such thing as a pure toxic nigga.
Yeah,
'Cause
I agree to that.
Yeah,
'Cause
because
I
you're
think-
always going to be the villain in somebody's story.
True,
And the
but
good
what,
guy and all this.
what I was trying to say is
You
to
only
some.
guys are toxic.
You know, being a villain is not that bad though.
Huh? Who's toxic?
Three of you?
3.
All four of us. I would prefer you say all four of us because I feel like
He's not there yet.
I feel like I'm
Wait,
excluded.
what?
I'm excluded.
I-
Not you.
I didn't.
Excluded.
Wait,
Am I toxic?
how am I
I
toxic?
know he's toxic.
I just have a feeling.
A feeling.
It's a good feeling.
See, that's the thing with females.
why
They feel a
does-
lot of things.
Hey.
Why does Shawn... why is Shawn not toxic and I'm toxic?
Yes, why is Shawn not toxic and we toxic?
No, and I am toxic. Not even those two.
We toxic.
They Haitian. Okay, we talking about
whoa.
the Jamaicans.
Yeah, the two
Pause.
Jamaicans.
Wow.
Yeah, the two
Pause.
Jamaicans at
We
the
talking
table.
about the
Yeah.
Jamaicans right now. Why am I toxic?
I don't care about you being Jamaican. He is the only person that doesn't agree with there is no such thing as a bad and good. So,
I said
mean,
there's such thing as toxic.
other than his personality, which I don't know about you, but
So what about my personality? Am I toxic?
you dated yourself, right?
No, but that's a joke. Like, do I come off as toxic?
I don't know.
Be honest. Be honest. We want the honest truth from you.
I think I look like a nice young man.
You look like him, but are you?
But you being nice doesn't make you toxic.
Doesn't make you
I
not
mean,
toxic.
you wish to be toxic, but you're not there yet.
You wish to be toxic.
I don't want to be
No, that's
toxic.
more Charles. That's more Charles.
Really?
That's what.
Yeah, Charles
No,
is
Charles, no.
As you met Charles.
Charles wants to be toxic really badly.
Charles wants to be everything that he's not.
Yeah.
I
So
love
good though.
that you're something. I love that you're something right now. But as I was saying, there's really no such thing as as that. For the simple fact is, for the right person, they would at least try to not be that. And to the right person, they won't even be that
Okay, so
because the perception will be different.
Huh?
Okay, let me say this. Why would you say it's a toxic behavior?
what would I say is toxic behavior? Cheating.
Who does that?
Okay. Something.
What is our nationality,
Some,
Corey?
some,
Come on, bro. You know at least 10.
10 cheaters?
Yeah, of course. Come on.
No, I don't. Have you ever cheated, Shawn?
Nah.
And me and Patrick don't cheat. So that's like 100% Jamaica right there. Like, I don't see any other stats. I don't think we cheat.
oh, just like purely Jamaican.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
What about back home?
But yeah.
Back home what?
Or the niggas you know back home?
You don't know anybody back home that cheats?
No, my niggas is loyal. I ain't trying to sell nobody's bread all the way overseas.
Oh, well, there it is. There it is. All right, cool. I respect
I'm
it.
overseas.
I respect
Yo,
it.
Shawn,
I respect
I
it.
need something that's a little less like, less of a deal breaker than that.
Goodbye, Morning Session Podcast.
Believe it or not.
I actually do have work. Are you guys gonna go past 10? It's 9:40 right now.
9:40. I don't know. Depending on how good the conversation goes, because we're gonna back to some more wholesome thing after this segment of good and nice.
Drive back.
So,
See you guys later.
okay, something that's less like hardcore, draw a line. No.
Hardcore porn.
What would you define as emotionally unable or unavailable? My
Unavailable?
apologies. Yeah. Emotionally
You define-
unavailable.
You define it, and I'll see if I can make it work.
Someone who struggles with or is not
Cannot.
able to, I guess, show emotion
Okay.
or deal with another person's emotions in the appropriate way.
Okay, you see?
That's crazy.
Great one right there. Let me see the straight of this one. Let's relax. So I
great.
can drop this knowledge on your folks.
That's crazy.
Go ahead, sir.
Let me go
I'm here to learn.
to my own personal camera right there for a teaching lesson. Well, you see the thing is, in life, there are multiple kind of people. There are people who are like pots with holes in them. Some people who are like pots with no holes in them. Some people are pots who had the middle cut out. Some people are like pots who are fully whole. Now, that being said, some people, i.e. somebody in this room, can't deal with a person like that. That is not something that would like.
Which one are you describing, first of all?
Okay, I'm saying like, let's say somebody else is that person right there who cannot show it.
Mhm.
And it's like in the typical sense of showing their emotion.
Mhm.
And let's say the other person who is in this room, me, I was gonna say that, wouldn't have a problem with that exactly. See what I'm saying? So like, while you think that, oh, that person is being toxic and it's a toxic relationship, I'm like, yo, shit's great. See what I'm saying?
Nah, I am so confused as to what we're talking about.
Okay.
I won't even lie.
Okay.
I just heard pots and holes and.
That's why you stop?
Hey, that's why I was wondering which one he's
Yeah,
talking
okay,
about.
cool,
Like,
cool.
bro.
Alright, so I'm not the only one.
That's where you stop?
I mean,
That's where
you
lost
stop.
me. You
bro.
lost me.
Can you go back to the
Forget the past and parents, forget my relationship. What I'm saying is, to somebody who's emotionally, so let's say somebody is emotionally unavailable, if they get into a relationship with somebody who, let's just say, try to be like, it's somebody who
Is very emotional.
has a stoic philosophy,
Mhm.
that wouldn't necessarily be a toxic relationship. Because even though the other person cannot like express it or don't want to or doesn't know how to, whatever the case is for them, it does not affect the other person. Because that's not a primary, that's not something that is at the primary forefront of that person.
But it would
For a
come up at
relationship.
some point, no? I mean, you can't not show emotion ever. At some point, that emotionally unavailable person is gonna have to deal with that other person.
I would say, but listen, at some point, I think the person's action value more than the emotion that they're showing.
And
'Cause I've
those
seen things-
actions are
bro.
influenced by.
Mhm.
And those actions are influenced by what?
Logic.
Not all the time.
In most
In
cases,
relation, we're talking about relationships
Mhm.
here. We're not talking about like a math problem.
I know.
So yeah, logic isn't always at the forefront. It's more
Logic
of
is
an
not
it's
always-
more of an emotional appeal.
Listen. You know, the thing with logic and decision making is, it doesn't matter who is at the wheel, whether it's logic or some other feeling, but logic is always the side passenger. That's the main car right there. That car right there is the logic car.
How do you apply logic to
Emotion
someone
might be
that's
in
sad?
the driver's seat right at the moment. Anger might be at the driver's seat at the moment. But at any point, if you really think about it,
Mhm.
the person can reel it back and stop it. And stop it. Logic exists for a reason. We're made to be logical beings, also emotional beings to some extent too. But like, we're wired with logic for a reason. It's there to like suppress the rest of them when it needs to happen.
I guess I could see that.
Because at some point, like, let's see, best example I could find for that. Let's say somebody did the most unthinkable thing to you that they possibly could. And and the first thing you see is a knife, and you reach out for it. At that moment, you're full of anger. You really want to stab that person. At that moment, you should know, if I stab this nigga, I'm going to jail.
Right, but then
As if
the
you get
emotions
caught.
are there. Yeah, but then the emotions there would be like, so what? This person did me wrong. I'm gonna stab him. And at that point, logic's thrown out the window. If you're angry enough to the point where you want to kill someone, all logic's thrown out the window.
Yeah,
All
that is
you're-
true, because you're not
all you're
thinking
pinpointed
logically.
on is killing that
You see
person,
how emotional
That's a
now.
su-
and
that's
now
a
you're
suicide.
emotional.
Bro, you're basically telling me that the driver is basically going to push this passenger out and then ram the car to the bus up front.
And the logical thing would be like, oh, don't kill yourself because it's bad. But I'm kind of suicidal here. That's not gonna help me. And so, logic really isn't gonna help that, unless you know, like you give them pills that are like objectively good, and that can like relieve those hormones. But at that point, a logical appeal isn't gonna work.
I was, to all extent, all appeal come from a certain place, and that would have to be logic. Yes, that it has to be. It has to be. All appeal has to come from logic. And let me explain to you. Let me explain to you how I explain it. Sometimes logic will dictate that you are logical. Sometimes logic will dictate that you need to be emotional for you to get what needs to be done. A person, as they're growing up, should be conditioned to know which condition do all of these apply. And at any point, if logic is not the driver for it, how do I get the logic back in there to circumvent the worst case scenario?
But in the example you gave before, I don't see how logic could even play a role in that, in deteriorating that person from killing the person who did them wrong. Well, I mean, what could you say to that person that's logical to stop them from killing that person? Other than that, you can go to jail, but then I don't care. I just want to kill him. Because at that point, you've already evaluated that risk. Because anybody who kills somebody is gonna have in the back of their mind that, you know, I could go to jail for this. I could probably die for
Not
this.
necessarily.
I think it's the risk of going to jail that actually kind of drives them. Well, it drives
Because
some people.
some people actually do it without the thought of getting caught. It's
Mhm.
like, I'm gonna do this. I'm not gonna get caught. Like we were talking about Dexter in the previous side.
Mhm.
He does it with the mindset that he will not get caught.
Mhm.
So
Because
it's
he
just-
knows what will happen to him if he does get caught.
I got stuck on me for a second. No, I just had the camera on me for a second.
Oh. Yeah, so it's like, it's the same thing. Sometimes it doesn't. You do the action, but you don't really care about the consequences.
Correct, right, and that's why I was saying that a logical approach, like he said, like, oh, you know, you could go to jail if you kill this person. I don't care. I'm gonna just kill him anyway.
Yeah.
And so then there's not really a logical approach that you could like put to that situation that would stop that person.
Yeah.
You'd have to appeal to them emotionally, be like,
Not really. Just smack him.
yeah, or just stop them
Okay,
like
let
right
me
then
ask
and
you,
there.
do you think people are mostly logical or mostly emotional?
Emotional. Well,
It depends.
nowadays, I think as a whole, people have become more emotional. And you
Really?
can see it in the way.
I mean, yeah.
You can see it in the way.
nowadays.
I don't want to get like too political, but you can see it in the way the country's being run. For example, oh boy, how can I say this without getting like just completely?
It's okay, boy. It's a safe zone.
Listen.
Have it?
We don't really dive into politics, but every once in a while we won't shy away from it.
All right, I think we can all agree that Kamala Harris was a horrible choice for vice president, right?
Yeah, putting black people in jail for a little heroin, for a little weed.
I mean,
I think
I don't know her use,
It was
so
weed,
I can't really say
Listen,
much.
the thing is like she was like, oh, I used to puff back in the days, and then
would jail black
she
people
was
for doing
putting
the same
people
thing.
back in the days after she was puffing.
And
she was
with
putting
all
people in
that being
jail.
said, with all that logic that's being said, she was still put in vice president. Why?
Mhm.
Because she's a woman, and she's
Cultural.
yeah,
What's your cultural appeal to it?
right, and it's a good face to show to people like outside of America or in America that we care about people of color. Look at our vice president. But you're there and you've done nothing.
Yeah,
And so then
she's pretty useless.
to your question, are people more logical than emotional nowadays? I would say that society has grown to a point where we've become more emotional
it
than
really
anything.
depends.
Okay.
It really depends.
Then do you think that's a good thing?
No.
That I mean, it really depends. It depends, bro.
Because listen.
I do think for a long time society has been too logical and not emotional enough, and that's why so much suffering has happened throughout like in the history of the world. Because if you took a time and you decided we don't need to progress this quickly and we could let these people live, then that could be a thing. And I think that's the phase we're in now, like where we're not really progressing much right now. With like more people are like happy, or more people are not suffering as badly as they was. If that makes sense.
I think honestly, we traded one devil for another.
Yeah.
We traded
We're
traded
not killing people.
Physical happiness for
Right.
emotional stability.
Like people aren't dying as much, but we're also very depressed.
Yes.
Well, I think a lot of people weren't depressed. I can't remember who it was, but they had this theory of like the brain's evolution and all that. And it's like depression is gonna come after you've reached this point where you focus on survival. Because now we're no longer focusing on survival, and now it's self-awareness. We're trying to focus on who we are. So that's gonna happen, and some people are gonna like struggle with focusing on who they are and finding who they are. So that's gonna be a problem. But then like when
Can I
everyone
just
was
say one
surviving,
thing?
you didn't have to think about how you feel because you have to live to the next day.
Can I say one thing? One of the main focus of Yojo Seiki, which you just shared about the lonely Nazi, is the fact that the whole basis of it is if you remove, if you know the hierarchy of needs, right, by Maslow.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes.
If you take out the first part, which is existence, you think about the second part, which is like self-actualization and shit like that, and you leave them with the first two part or the first part of it only,
It's 6
which
stages,
is
I believe.
survival. People are more likely to start relying on faith. Would you agree? Would you agree to that? To that?
Could you say what you
Yeah,
said again?
say it again.
Okay. Let me just pull up the Maslow hierarchy of needs.
No, I think that's how we originally like.
I believe self-actualization is at the top.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure
And
out.
at the bottom is
Uh-huh.
basic survival.
So at the very top you have self-actualization, self-esteem, love and belonging, safety and security, and physiological needs. So basically, if you take the first part out, which is self-actualization, take out self-esteem,
Just take out the whole
You-
top row.
you remove, like you partially remove love and belonging, and then you only leave and you leave them in the fight for safety. I feel like that's the perfect creation of faith for me.
A world with
The
no
creation of
love
faith.
and
Not
no
like the
purpose.
birth of religion itself.
But then you'd have no purpose, really.
Hmm?
But then you
That's why-
eliminate number one.
Listen, that's the thing. Religion would birth that purpose.
Mm, I think you'd have to leave that up to people to find that themselves.
That's what it does, though.
Well, yeah. But if you're just leaving it up to religion, then, that could get really
Have you studied history?
complicated.
Have you looked at the current state of religion right now in the world?
Hmm.
That's basically what it is. Before we had the whole internet fiasco that we currently are dealing with right now, religion was a major source of people personality. Whether you're a Christian, Catholic, Hindu, whatever you are, that was a major part of your identity. Everybody at some point belonged to a certain group.
Hmm.
Nowadays, you can be like, I don't care, I don't believe in anything. But before then, you, as a human being, your base instinct was like to believe in something. You
Right.
know? So I feel like that right there is like the perfect catalyst to create religion.
So a world with no self-actualization
Mhm.
and no self-esteem.
With tangible love and belonging, scarce security and safety, people will cling to religion. Because you don't know when you're going to die. You need something to make you feel safe when that happens. You need something to keep you going throughout the world.
Hmm. But I feel like that free will aspect of, because if we're talking about religion now, then free will is also is a
It's a
huge,
major aspect of it.
right? And so then take away self-actualization,
Okay,
you take
what-
away self-esteem, that free will's kind of not there anymore.
But if you study religion, if you study all kind of religion in the world, you will realize that most, if not all of them, require one thing: for you to return back what was given to you, free will.
Correct.
So,
And so it's your will to either give it back or keep it.
so why would they want it back?
Why not?
What do you mean, why not?
I mean, it should be your choice whether you want to be dictated by a certain religion or whether you just want to develop your own system of beliefs.
It already happens.
But I mean, it's happening now.
It's the path of least resistance. It's the path now because, as much as, like I said, people, I believe you said that, correct? Drew,
Hey,
you said that, right? About people wanting to make things easy before?
wanting to make things easy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And wanting to make that, and wanting to do that, we ended up actually securing the first three part of it, which is physical safety and longing. Make everything so easy and quick and easy now. Now we're stuck with the first two, which is where everything is going away, like you said before. Like if we took away all the advances and we went back to the root, we wouldn't have all the mental issues that we have right now. Because who worry about the fact that they're sad when you have a jaguar chasing you trying to eat you?
Right.
You don't think about
you
that.
just run away.
You just want to eat, you just want to leave, you're going to die, you're going to run away. Fucking have kids. Now people are like, but I'm so sad. This thing got a Beamer, and I just got a Nissan.
Do you think people back like when we were hunting and gathering?
Tough it
Suck
up.
it up.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
That's not really working nowadays.
I mean,
just
like
telling
that's
people
because
stuff.
society is now is pretty much like cupcake.
Like I said, society's become more emotional.
So it's like
For sure.
you know,
But yeah.
there's nothing you can do about it. You try to tell someone tough it up, they just start crying. It's like, what do I do now?
Punch them harder?
I mean, at that point, you could go to therapy. I don't know, some
That's it.
psychologist.
That's the thing, though. They rely on that so much that they can't think for themselves. Like,
I mean,
I'm not gonna lie. Before, like, I was raised in Haiti.
We
So-
don't believe in that shit.
Huh?
We don't believe in that mental health.
Yeah, so it's like mental health is an issue. Like when I came to the United States, I hear suicide, I hear school shooters, I hear all type of bullshit.
We don't have
Like-
that shit.
Over there, well, you have a problem, you deal with it. Okay, that's the only mindset. Like deal with it.
Yeah.
Someone is bullying you, but
You
deal with it.
Deal with it. Like go back to what I was saying. Like, if you remove the first two part of it, also too, people naturally have to become more logical. Because esteem has to do with emotion. Actualization is a feeling. It's not a tangible thing. But safety, that's tangible. Where you are right now is either safe or not safe. You're either gonna die or
So
you're
wait.
not.
so then removing those two would just remove basically all emotion.
No, it doesn't remove emotion. Fear is an emotion, keeps you safe. Anger is an emotion. It give you adrenaline, allow you to actually go beyond your personal, physical, human limits
Just
for a quick second for you to survive. All of that is emotion. I'm talking about the type that boggles you down, the type that makes you unproductive as a person to society, or even to yourself at large.
I've never seen it. I've never looked at it that way. That's a really interesting point.
It is.
Yeah, but this is a money session podcast. We get deep. Big pause, but
That you would like to go over before we start closing and winding it down.
No, not really. It's been mad fun though. I'm not gonna lie. This podcast, I didn't know what to expect. At
trust
first.
me, we never.
This
do.
is the first time I've ever seen this or been here. This has been a vibe. I like it. I'll definitely come on again for sure.
So, Drew, do you have anything to say before you dip?
No, not really. When's the next one?
Sometime next week.
Oh, I won't be here next week.
Yeah, we haven't figured out.
No, it's not next week.
I thought you said
Oh yeah,
you
he won't be here.
I thought you guys said you're gonna be here next week.
I'm gonna be here until Wednesday.
Yeah,
That's closed then.
and he's leaving on Thursday. So we have Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
No, I leave in tomorrow.
Yeah, I know. But he's not leaving until Wednesday.
Oh,
He's
so
the-
you're gonna try to record Tuesday or something?
Yeah. He's leaving on Wednesday. He's leaving on Thursday. We have Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday for that.
You better show up earlier, not fucking 7:30.
Schedule issues.
All right.
Cause like I literally was here until all day for the most part.
I found him on the research way. I don't know what to say about that.
Hey, life be messy sometimes.
Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're about to head out.
Anyway, folks, thanks for watching. We've been going at this for about an hour and 25 minutes.
Yeah,
This is
well,
the morning
good
show.
luck on your quest, making people happy.
Thank you.
I can't be you. Like, seriously.
I can barely even maintain my own happiness.
I mean, like, I can try to make some people happy, but over time they just piss me off to the extent that I have to reconsider the shit. So it's
Useless
like,
pursuit.
yeah, I don't know.
Every once in a while, you gotta not think about it and just flow with it.
Yeah.
I'd like to be the best result in a few things. Just stop thinking and just let the world be the world.
Yeah, that's true. And the word of Kanye, slavery was a choice. I'm out of here.
Anyway, this is the Morning Forecast, folks, brought to you by the Morning Studio.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's something to dwell on.
I will co-sign what he said, but doesn't mean I agree with the fundamental statement of it,
Oh,
okay?
you say you won't co-sign it.
I will co-sign it. But then,
Why'd you say but?
Like,
because there's a but to it.
just say you agree, Doug.
Hmm?
Just say you agree.
Not fully. It's nuance.
Since I'm leaving tomorrow, I can give y'all whatever in my car. That's what I was trying to be on that.
Wait, what you got in your car?
Whatever's in his
okay.
car, bro.
Hold up, folks. I just got a bring your reason to end the show right now. So we're gonna be back to you guys later this week. I plan on dropping at least 2 episodes. We're going back to the 2 episodes per week, courtesy of school being out, which we now have time to actually edit and do things I can do and want to do. So cheers to that. Roll the outro.